Hello and welcome back to Realm of Thrones, and here we are in our first battle with a wonderful polearm. Yeah, so this is a polearm that I've used in the past. It's called the War Razor, and it has an amazing reach with a lot of damage. Massive damage. I can only use it in a two-handed stance, so it is going to be a little bit tricky to use if I need to, you know, block something, but, you know, we can only hope that that's gonna be completely fine, because most of the damage output is going to hopefully sway us in the more positive direction, shall we say, because obviously if it only gives us downsides and we're now thinking, oh no, this is terrible, then of course I will, you know, I'll think about switching over to something else. But this is obviously, yes, as you can quite clearly tell, look at that damage, real nice. And hopefully I'm going to be able to be a menace to these enemy cavalry. And I'm going to be able to level up pretty fast as well, because I'm going to be much more effective at dealing damage. And hopefully they're not going to block too much. Oh, of course. There we go. Nice. That's what we like to see. Now bear in mind, I don't actually have a huge amount of focus points in polearm skill. I'd be leveling up much faster if I did. But hopefully we'll be able to get some more as and when we actually do level up, because we're going to be much more effective, as I said, going to be doing more damage in general. Let's get my soldiers out the front here, get my infantry out the front here, shall we say, and then we'll otherwise just kind of distract the enemy's cavalry. This is usually what I try to do if I feel like the enemy's cavalry is a bit too strong for us. Obviously I'm not thinking that at the moment. I'm kind of just having fun trying out our new weapon, but it is actually kind of effective to do this kind of thing, because that means that your archers or whoever are not going to be harassed by the enemy, you know, mounted forces, and then you should be completely fine. Rather weirdly enough though, they do seem to be running away, which is kind of weird. I'm not entirely sure why they're deciding to do that. I'm going to tell my cavalry to charge in. We might as well just do some damage here. Gonna try and see if I can get this guy out of the way. Oh, well, we actually got him with a poke. That was quite literally a poke, because we only did 19 damage. But there you go, we got him nevertheless, and there we go, there's a wonderful slash. Bear in mind, this is not a thrusting polearm by any means, but it can be used as one if you want to. It doesn't do particularly amazing damage, you know, in a thrusting manner, but it can. It can if you're, I think, pretty good at it, but for me personally, well, it depends. Sometimes I'm okay with a thrusting polearm, but most of the time it has to be a specifically thrusting one rather than a hybrid, because this is more of a hybrid one where you can use it in both. You know, you can use thrusting and slashing, but for me personally, yeah, if I'm going to be doing something that is, you know, using a conventional spear, then that's going to be a lot easier for me to just, you know, use that instead of actually using something that is a hybrid damage. But anyway, yeah, actually, you know what? That's something that I need to utilize much more of as well. I've just realized, or should we say remembered, that my writing skill actually did increase to 175, actually 275, sorry. And that is amazing, because that actually provides every single time I go in to do like a charge or something like that with my mount, I am going to be able to deal massive damage with it. As you no doubt saw, I was dealing about 40 damage every single time I went in to the enemy's lines, and that is obviously going to get even better or worse dependent on what kind of units are, you know, being hit by it, because of course, you know, armor makes a significant difference to the amount of damage. Anyway, we were able to achieve victory. Not really doing this for any particular reason other than the fact that it was actually pretty cool to get into a battle to try out my new weapon, and also to rid the Westerlands of yet another vassal, because obviously that's pretty important for us. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a brief overview of what's going on so far, because, well, actually quite surprisingly, the Iron Islands are being able to hold on pretty effectively, surprisingly so, to most of their fiefs. As you can see, look at this. they actually still own all their fiefs, with the exception of the twins, of course, but that is a rebellion more than anyone actually conquering it. And we are now actually going out and attacking something. Now, bear in mind, this is pretty bad, by the way, because our war exhaustion is now well, it's going to be hitting its capacity very, very soon, and this is going to be super, super bad for us, because you know what's going to happen then, right? Yeah, they're going to force us into a really, really big tribute, and that is going to make things even worse. So I'm not sure how that's going to go. I'm not even entirely sure what I should do here. Vigor or control? Vigor or control? I think I'll probably go for control, because I do want to level up my bows some more. And here's Tywin himself. Hello there, Mr. Tywin Lannister. Okay, so yeah, ooh, we've got him. Oh, this is absolutely perfect timing. I don't think Tywin actually sees that Dunstan is on his way here. Dunstan checks in very, very literally at this point. Look at this. This is absolutely perfect. Can you just go in there, sir? Can you just go in there? Yep, there we go. Absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to go in, but not in the nighttime. We're going to go in around about... I'm just going to... I actually wanted to get that other guy in here, but it doesn't seem like he's willing to commit to the situation, which is rather sad. Because if we can get as many people in here as possible, this is going to be a surefire, hopefully a surefire victory. I actually don't know whether it will be. It very much depends on the enemy's troop composition, but I think we should be fine. I think we should be okay. It just very much depends on what, you know, the enemy has. Maybe they have a bunch of really, really high tier cavalry, and if they do have that high tier cavalry, well, then we just have to be more careful, I suppose. Actually, how many do I actually have? Oh, I do have people. Oh, okay. They are actually allowing me to command some troops, which is quite strange on a battle of this size. Usually, they're not going to allow me to do anything because they have a lot of vassals in here, and maybe they think that I'm the most well qualified, which I got news for you, sir. Yes, I have news for you. That's not actually how things work for me specifically, but there you go. Anyway, let me see if I can do some damage. Oh, that was some good damage, but only to the mount. Not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, this is also what we've got to be really, really aware of now, too. The enemy that have... oh, we should probably just tell our forces to charge in. Yeah, so I'm just going to tell them to auto-delegate because, yeah, as I've said, that generally does make much more sense when working with the AI than if you were to, you know, command your forces manually. If you command your forces manually, yeah, well, good luck to you. That's absolutely fine. You can do that if you want to. But from my perspective, I feel like it is a lot more effective to just let the AI do both things, basically, you know. Because if you auto-delegate, then the AI is going to take care of your units, and they're also going to be doing their own, and they're going to work together quite well. Because as far as I'm aware, they use the same kind of, you know, formations and, you know, all that wonderful stuff that is actually going to help cohesiveness between both sets of forces. Unfortunately, I am going to lose my horse, I think. I don't really want that to happen, so I'd like to maybe be a bit careful here. I'm going to stay a little bit more on the outskirts of the fight for the moment. I don't really want to get eliminated, or even have my horse get eliminated. That would be kind of sad, because this horse is actually amazing. It's been very, very good for us so far. Look at how much damage we're able to deal. I mean, really, yeah, this is pretty incredible. And, yeah, I was hopeful. I was hopeful right there, but my timing was a bit off. How about that one? Yeah, there we go. That was spot on. Spot on, sir. Yeah, that was not. Ooh, we gotta be careful. We gotta be careful. And hello, Tree. Oh, it's so nice to see you, Tree. Yes, that was wonderful, wasn't it? Yeah, that's one of those times, isn't it? It's one of those times where you just go, there's a tree here. I think I will crash into it, and I will leave myself very open for any forces that want to murder me instantly. You know? That's usually how it goes. So, probably want to be a bit more careful about that. But you know me, I do generally tend to crash into a lone tree. I can count on, well, a centipede. I can count on a centipede. Yeah, there we go. I can count on a centipede how long, or should we say how many times I have crashed into a lone tree on a battlefield. And it's actually quite funny. I seem to remember there's a very vivid memory that I have, one of the very few, where it's a long time ago. I was playing the previous iteration of the game, playing Warband, and I was talking about how every single time I go into a battlefield with very few trees, I manage to find the exact tree that is the only one there, and then I managed to crash into it. And the funny thing is, I said, oh, thankfully there's not many trees on this particular battlefield. I seem to distinctly remember saying something like that. And then I said something like, maybe I'm not going to crash into it this time. Maybe I'm not going to crash into any of them, and then we'll have a nice, smooth battle. And you know what I did in the first 30 seconds? Yeah, you guessed it. I crashed into the tree. Didn't get killed, I don't think. I don't think I got killed. But the fact that I even had that happen was just hilarious, you know. That's just the kind of situation that would happen to me, isn't it? Yeah, saying, oh yeah, there's one tree, and then doing the thing that I'm not supposed to do. Anyway, I have lost my mount, which of course is to be expected at this point, you know. That fellow right there did have my number, unfortunately. Would have preferred to keep my horse alive, because this is a fantastic horse. But I do have some other noble horses in my inventory if this one dies, which it didn't actually. So we still have the ability to use it. So I'm quite happy with that. And this fellow's got a shield, so it's going to be a bit difficult. Oh, never mind. I actually did eliminate him, surprisingly enough. And yeah, hopefully we can just kill a couple of extras here. Oh, I moved a little bit too fast, and now I'm shooting another one of my own fellow's horses. That's another thing that I tend to do. Isn't that wonderful? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely wonderful. And that's the funny thing. It's one of those other situations where you think, oh yeah, I'm actually alright at shooting, you know? I think I'm okay at using a bow when I've got decent skill. When I don't have decent skill, well then I'm not so good. But the funny thing is, I can almost assure you that I will hit one target every single time I unleash an arrow from my bow. But I can probably tell you with 90% accuracy, I'll most likely hit a friendly target if the friendly targets are within the line of sight. Which is really funny. I don't know how that always happens to me, because from my perspective, I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, we're going to be fine here. You know, like for example, in this situation, obviously there are more allied forces than there are enemies, but let's just say that there's an even number. Well, it's more likely that I'll hit an ally than it is that hitting an enemy. I don't know why that is, but every single time, that always just seems to be the case. I can't tell you why, but yeah, that seems to happen to me almost every single time. And don't even get me started on killing the enemy horses instead of the riders. Yeah, that's also a thing. Anyway, let's have a look-see here. We're actually not going to be taking anyone. We're just going to be taking some banner knights and some regular knights, I suppose, just to try to persuade them to join us potentially. And there you go. We were able to achieve victory really quite handily. So I guess the Iron Islands are looking pretty good in regards to their own strength. So I'm very pleased about that, because that means that we're not going to have too many things to worry about going forward. Hopefully my war exhaustion, or should we say the war exhaustion for the Iron Islands is... Oh, we lost enough troops. We lost enough troops in that particular battle to now force us into... Oh, they actually took it. They took the Bane Fort. That's fantastic. Okay, that's actually amazing. Okay, I was really, really worried about that. I thought to myself, they're not going to be able to do it, but they did. That is so, so great. Okay, so plus 20% damage bonus from speed with polearms while mounted. I'm probably going to take that. And we're just going to stick around here for a little bit of time, because there's no doubt, yeah, there's going to be a huge amount of people coming in here. And as you can see, we can now vote for the owner. I'm going to try, as I said before, because we now have diplomacy installed, we do have the ability to potentially usurp the throne from Mr. Greyjoy. And so it would be a really, really wonderful idea if we could try to get some relation with some of these people. So, like, for example, this guy, he's got 59 relation with us. Let's just try to vote for him and just schmooze him up a little bit, just so that we can gain a small smattering of relation increase there, and hopefully get more people on our side. Obviously, you can do that a lot easier by just donating gold, for example. You can do that if you want to, or you can spend your own influence to do that as well. So, for example, let's say, well, what? I don't even know these guys. Okay, I have no idea. But yeah, basically we can just donate gold. How much do you want to donate? Well, we can donate, let's see. Oh, look at that. I have to donate 300,000 to get 21 relation. Well, I'm not going to do that, but it's good for us to know that there is that possibility. So if we want to do it that way, then we can. But I personally am wanting to fight these guys. Let's see if we can get into a battle with them. Yes, we can. Wonderful. And this is again causing even more damage. Hopefully, as I say, it's very much a it was kind of harsh us starting the war with the Westerlands when we already had war against the North and against the Vale at the same time. Because what that has actually done is that has caused much more war exhaustion on our side than we probably otherwise would have gotten. I mean, maybe we would have been more even then, at least, just a little bit more even, because as it stands right now, obviously we're looking pretty, well, it's looking pretty bad, we're looking pretty bad right now because we are, well, we have been, shall we say, outnumbered. We are still outnumbered due to the 2 war declarations. But the fact is, if we had been at war in a one-on-one situation with the Westerlands, I feel like we would have had a much easier time of things. And that's just one of those deals that maybe the player has to be a bit good, has to be a bit good to kind of change things up and maybe try to sway the balance towards their own faction. That's the only thing I can really say there, because otherwise, what else can you do? If the Westerlands has an insane amount of power, then I'm not entirely sure how that is supposed to be handled initially. Obviously, from my perspective, the most common and probably the most effective, well, maybe one of the most effective things to do is to literally just pick off as many vassals as you can, because that's going to, of course, have a direct impact on how effective the enemy is, because, of course, then they're going to have much less forces to be able to call into armies, and they're going to just generally have less military strength. And that's pretty much the one thing that you can do to directly influence that. But what if they're running around in a massive army? If they're running around in a massive army, they've got over 1,000 troops in every single army that you see. Well, good luck. Good luck in that case, I suppose. I guess then you're going to have to rely on your own faction to draw up their own armies and to, actually assist you in some way. Because obviously you're not supposed to win the game by yourself. You are supposed to have allies, and those allies are supposed to assist you in pretty much every single respect. Of course, there are those situations that occur where maybe it is actually going to be a time where you are going to be the main driving force. And, well, I'm kind of trying to be that at the moment. I'm trying to just kind of eliminate vassals where and when I can, like for example with these people right here, these fellows. And, well, if we can eliminate them and continue to eliminate them, keep them kind of fielding low tier troops as much as possible, then that is all we can really do. And we can just kind of hope that that's going to make a bit of a difference to the overall chances of our own forces achieving victory. Because if all these vassals are fielding lower tier troops and our forces are fielding higher tier troops, then we shouldn't have to worry too much about that. But, oh, are you serious? Oh no, this is terrible. Look at this. Oh, okay, I had no idea that that was going to happen. Okay, that is really, really bad. Okay, so yes, must accept the terms of defeat and pay war reparations in the amount of 1,710,000. They're distributed among all the clans of the kingdom, of course. And on top of that, Mr. Greyjoy has to return the Bane Fort back to the Westerlands, and the Shame of Defeat will cost him 5,000 influence. Okay, so yeah, now that has immediately changed back to the Westerlands and them owning it, and I am now incredibly I'm incredibly angry about that. Okay, well, never mind. Basically, we're not even at war against the Vale. I apparently didn't realize that we were at war against the Reach. Well, the Reach is extremely far away, so it's highly unlikely that they're going to be able to do anything towards us at the moment. So, yeah. Wow, okay. Did not realize that that was actually going to happen. I thought to myself, oh, at least we've taken the Bane Fort. That's pretty good. But now what's going to happen is are we actually paying them anything? We're not. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's actually really, really interesting. And the Westerlands actually has a war exhaustion of 0. Okay. Huh. That's interesting as well. Okay, so I'm going to keep an eye on the Westerlands, because if we make sure that maybe if and when they decide to declare war against some other faction, maybe that's going to make a difference to when we can attack them again, because I think personally I think we can defeat them. I think we can defeat them. Look at that. I literally had to pay 148,000. I had to pay 148,000 to pay the the toll, as it were. And as you can see, Mr. Greyjoy now has 7 influence. He literally has, well, basically 0. He was bankrupted through that. That is absolutely incredible. He owns Pike as well, by the way. All right, well, okay, I guess I'm going to be making my way back here. And I'm just going to have a quick look and see what's going on at my town. Okay, so my town is doing absolutely fine, as you can see right here. Why is my prosperity not going up any further? Housing costs are now -2. Okay, wait a minute. Why is that? Is it because we have too many people? Is it because we have too many people? Or what is it? Do we have too many people in the garrison? No, I only have 122 in here. Okay, well that's interesting. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but whatever the case, I am actually going to be making my way over to some of the noble troops, so I can hopefully recruit a couple of those and then level them up over the course of the time that I'm just running around and everything. And hopefully that's going to help us out in future battles. Okay, so we need to go over here. And yeah, now I'm set. I'm sorely disappointed. Look at that. I lost another 50,000 as well. That's incredible. But yeah, I am now sorely disappointed about that, because, as I say, I thought, oh, at least we took something, you know? At least we have something to show for it, and now we can use that particular castle as like a springboard, you know? We can use that as a launching off point to attack something in the future. But no, of course not. No, yeah, diplomacy is now making it so that we have to return that, but we don't have to pay a tribute. So I suppose that is indeed an issue as well. So I suppose, I mean, that kind of makes sense if you think about it. It kind of does make sense from a diplomatic standpoint. You know, they are probably going to realistically ask for their fief back. Of course. Of course they might actually ask that, you know, in reality. They might very well do that. So I guess it makes sense. Anyway, we still have a significant amount of cash myself, and I'm very much hoping that... I don't even know how my prosperity is going down so dramatically, but maybe we should try to institute... Oh, we're making peace with the Reach right now. Alright, well that's absolutely fine as well. Let's try and get some relation with this guy. Let's just support him massively, gain a good amount with him. And then hopefully we can start to work from within. As you can see, the Black Tide faction is actually starting to gain quite a bit. If I join here, what happens? Yeah, as you can see, this is what happens. I increase the power of this faction by 700, And if we can get the balance of power to this, then that's obviously going to make a huge amount of difference. But unfortunately, we don't have enough to be able to do that just yet. And, of course, it wouldn't actually, you know, put us in power. It would be putting someone else in power. So maybe that's not the best idea. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, as I say, I'm kind of a bit irritated by that whole Westerlands business, but it is a very classic Westerlands maneuver for them to do something like that. But as I say, what can I do? You know, what can I do about that? I can't really do much about it because diplomacy, that's just how it works. When war exhaustion gets to the maximum, you can't really do much unless the opponent is, I mean, that's the funny thing. That is actually really funny because in a previous version of diplomacy, I used diplomacy, I think, a number of series ago, and the AI was consistently losing engagements. And obviously this is how you conquer things, of course. You know, if the AI is losing, then of course you're going to be conquering, you know, additional fiefs, and everything's going to be going really, really well for you. However, when the AI was losing, they were not providing me with anything close to this kind of benefit. They were not giving me anything like that. What they were actually giving me was about 200 gold. Yeah. They were giving me about 200 gold every single time we would max out their war exhaustion, and the war exhaustion was immediately making it so that they made peace with us, and that was it. That was pretty much all that would happen in that situation. Which every single time that happened, I thought to myself, "Oh, that's absolutely terrible." You know, the amount of reward that you would get as the victor is just so incredibly low, and they've obviously changed that. The modding team behind diplomacy has obviously changed that because, of course, you know, before it just didn't make any sense. But now it definitely makes sense, and now we're on the losing side, which is very funny, isn't it? Yeah, that is very funny, but, you know, I can't do much about it. As I say, hopefully next time we will be on the winning side, and I'm now getting shot. So I'm going to go up here. Let's see if we can do something. I'm going to be in a huge pickle here, actually. Oh, this is bad. Okay, let me see if I can just get by. Okay, oh no, this is real bad. Okay, hello there, sir. If you don't mind, could you just not bother me for a real quick second? Don't bother me for a real quick second. I'm busy. I am very, very busy indeed. Oh yes, there we are. Fantastic. Okay, so now I can actually pick off a couple of these archers. Got to be careful here. Oh wow, I can't believe I missed that. There we go, got him. I'm being shot from behind, am I? I wasn't being shot by that guy. I'm not entirely sure who I was being shot by. This fellow down here? I'm not entirely sure. There are so many different ways that I can get shot, so I've got to be super, super paranoid about everything now. Ah, hello. There we go. Okay. Anyone? Anyone want... this fellow wants a piece. Okay, let's do this. Oh, you didn't raise your shield, sir. That was a bit of a mistake on your part there. Oh, I shot the wall. Isn't that fantastic? Yes. The wall did nothing wrong. Okay, there we go. well, they seem to be having a slight bit of a problem getting down the stairs there. As you can see, they're kind of glitching up and down for some reason. I think they're just not entirely sure what they should be doing right now, but I'm very thankful that my forces seem to actually be coming in now. Oh, that's a lot of people. Alright, I gotta be super careful about getting shot by the enemy archers here. So I'm just gonna kind of try to hit them from the blind spot. Try to get a little bit of extra angle benefit from that. Because obviously if you look at how we're shooting right here, I'm trying to use the curvature of our shot to prevent me from being shot back. But obviously that's, you know, the AI is always extremely clever about, you know, hitting in retaliation, so we've got to be a bit careful. But I can just hope that I might get a couple of kills from this. Don't really mind too much if I get killed now, but it would be kind of cool if we could survive just that little bit longer. Oh, nice. We can get some long-range shots from here. Nice. This is some great positioning. Nice. Okay, wait a minute. More than that, please. More than that. Just another little headshot here and there would be great. Seems like the enemy is just charging straight on in. Not entirely sure why they're doing that, but I guess, you know, needs must. Maybe the archers are deciding that that would be a good idea. Maybe they're thinking, oh yes, we should really charge in at this moment in time. That sounds like a great idea. But I don't know, really. That doesn't really feel too convincing to me, but we can just continue to try and get some headshots here as well. Absolutely love the fact that my bow is very, very powerful, even at long range. Of course it is, should be. It is a very, very expensive one after all, so, you know, it should be particularly good. And maybe we can shoot a couple more of these guys. This is actually a perfect opportunity to level up my bow skill as well, and my athletics. And speaking of athletics, look at that. We just got to 275. That means my HP is going to be increasing by a significant amount. Really wish I could have killed one of those guys, but oh well, never mind. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to just speed things up. My forces will have cleared out the remaining forces. And there we have it. We've now taken the twins, and that was a very fun and enjoyable siege in my opinion. We were able to achieve victory there as well, so I'm very happy about that. And also staying alive the entirety of the siege. I always very much appreciate us being able to do that. All right, so I'm just going to take the 18 units here. I'm just going to take all of them because we can actually give Tyrion some of those as well, which might actually be somewhat useful for him, maybe. I'm not entirely sure if he has space for them or not. I can only hope that he's actually getting some renown for our battles that we're doing as well. I hope that he's not being excluded from that, because that's obviously going to hopefully level up his clan tier as well. I'm actually not entirely sure if he can level up his clan tier. I hope he can. But yeah, anyway, let's donate some troops here. Yeah, he does have space. That's great. Okay, wonderful. So that means I can give him some of these. Give him some of these, and these, and these. There we are. That is wonderful. All right, and we've also got 12 of these guys. Wait a minute, what do these guys go into? Okay, yeah, these guys go into this. So we'll just give him 10, and there we have it. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And now the twins is ours. That's wonderful. And we should now be fine to... you know, make peace with the rebels. I'm actually just going to go and attack them real fast. Not going to do a duel or anything, just going to do a nice little auto-resolve, and we'll just take him prisoner. And we actually release this guy as well. This is fantastic. Oh, did we not increase our relation with that fellow at all? That's actually kind of strange. Not entirely sure why that didn't happen, but oh well, never mind. Sometimes it doesn't happen, dependent on maybe do we have maxed out relation with him? I don't think so somehow. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so yes, this is an absolutely fantastic ability to have. Probably going to be going for that. Plus 50% damage when you hit an enemy in the head with a polearm. Cannot say anything better about that than it's just incredible. Super, super useful. And a +1 hit point for every skill point above 250 bonus from Mighty Blow. And also stunning your enemies longer after they block your attack. I think that's quite cool. I like that a lot. Anyway, there you go. That's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.